What if everything we thought we knew about dating ancient fossils has been completely wrong this entire time? Scientists have just dropped a bombshell discovery that's challenging the very foundations of how we study prehistoric life. Deep in central China's Qinglongshan fossil reserve, researchers have uncovered something extraordinary. A collection of 28 dinosaur eggs that they've managed to date with unprecedented precision using what they're calling an atomic clock technique. And here's where it gets controversial. These eggs are approximately 86 million years old, but the method used to determine this age is so revolutionary that it's making paleontologists around the world question decades of established dating practices. But here's the part most people miss. This isn't just about finding old eggs. This discovery could completely transform our understanding of how dinosaurs survived and adapted during one of Earth's most dramatic climate shifts. Let me explain why this discovery is causing such a stir in the scientific community. Traditional fossil dating has always been like trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing. Paleontologists typically estimate the age of ancient plant and animal remains by examining the sedimentary layers where these fossils were discovered. Think of it like geological detective work. Scientists assume that if a fossil is found in a particular rock layer, it must be roughly the same age as that layer. However, there's a massive problem with this approach that most people don't realize. Fossils can be sneaky time travelers. They might settle into a location long before or after the surrounding rocks, lava deposits, or ash layers formed. This means a fossil could be significantly older or younger than its geological neighborhood suggests. It's like finding a vintage coin in your backyard and assuming it's as old as your house, when in reality, someone might have dropped it there just yesterday. This is precisely why the new technique used on these Chinese dinosaur eggs is creating such excitement and, frankly, some heated debates among researchers. The revolutionary method employed by the research team is called Carbonate Uranium-Lead dating, or UPB dating for short. Now, before your eyes glaze over at the scientific jargon, let me break this down in simple terms. This technique works like nature's own atomic stopwatch, and it's absolutely fascinating once you understand the mechanics. Inside certain minerals, specifically those containing calcium, iron, manganese, and magnesium, tiny amounts of uranium exist naturally. Over millions of years, this uranium undergoes a predictable decay process, slowly transforming into lead atoms. Scientists can measure the precise ratio of uranium to lead atoms remaining in a sample, and this ratio tells them exactly how much time has passed since the mineral first formed. To analyze these particular dinosaur eggs, researchers used an incredibly sophisticated microlaser to carefully shave off microscopic fragments of the fossilized eggshells. They then vaporized these mineral fragments and literally counted individual uranium and lead atoms. By calculating the uranium to lead ratio, they determined the egg's age with remarkable accuracy. But here's where the controversy begins. Some scientists argue that this level of precision might be giving us false confidence in our dating methods, while others believe it's the breakthrough we've been waiting for. The breakthrough became possible because recent analysis revealed the presence of calcite, a specific form of calcium carbonate, within these fossilized eggshells. This discovery was reported in the journal Frontiers in Earth Science, and it's significant because calcite provides the perfect mineral foundation for UPB dating to work effectively. These particular eggs represent the first fossils from the Qinglongshan Reserve to be reliably dated using direct methods, and this reserve is no small collection. It encompasses 3 distinct sites containing more than 3,000 preserved eggs. What makes this collection even more remarkable is that most of these eggs remain semi-exposed and preserved in three-dimensional form, maintaining their original shapes almost perfectly intact after 86 million years. The majority of eggs at this site belong to a species scientists have named Placoolithus tumiaolingensis, which falls under the Dendrolithidae family classification. Now here's something that might surprise you. This classification is based entirely on the characteristics of the eggs themselves, not on the skeletal remains of the dinosaur that laid them. The actual dinosaur species responsible for these eggs remains a complete mystery, which opens up a whole world of speculation about what these ancient creatures might have looked like. Physically, these eggs are quite impressive specimens. They're shaped like slightly flattened spheres, measuring approximately 4.7 to 6.7 inches in length, roughly the size of a large avocado or small cantaloupe. Their mineralized shells are remarkably thin, measuring no more than 0.09 inches thick, which is less than the thickness of 2 stacked quarters. And this is the part most people miss. The shells of these eggs are unusually porous compared to other dinosaur eggs we've discovered. This porousness isn't just a random characteristic. It could be a crucial evolutionary adaptation that tells us something profound about how these dinosaurs survived during the Cretaceous period, which spanned from 145 million to 66 million years ago. During this era, Earth was already beginning its transition from the extremely warm greenhouse conditions of the early Cretaceous to the cooler climate that would eventually lead to the mass extinction event that ended the dinosaur age. The porous nature of these eggshells might represent an evolutionary response to these changing environmental conditions, though scientists are still debating whether this adaptation was beneficial or detrimental to the species' survival. Dr. B. Zhao, a researcher at the Hubei Institute of Geosciences in Wuhan, China, and co-author of the study, revealed something fascinating about how this discovery came about. The idea to test UPB dating on the calcite within these fossilized eggs emerged somewhat accidentally through conversations with researchers who specialize in dating stalagmites using similar carbonate UPB methods. We decided to give it a try on the Qinglongshan eggs, not expecting such clear and reliable results, Zhao explained. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this method as revolutionary as researchers claim? Or are we getting carried away by technical capabilities? Heriberto Rochin-Banyaga, a research associate in the University of Toronto's Earth Sciences Department, who wasn't involved in this particular study, strongly advocates for UPB analysis. He argues that geochronology using UPB analysis is by far the most precise dating technique available to scientists today. Rochin-Banyaga has successfully used this method to analyze ancient corals and belemnites, extinct squid-like creatures, with remarkable accuracy. The precision of UPB dating is genuinely impressive. Scientists have successfully used this technique on rocks ranging from 1 million to hundreds of millions of years old, achieving extremely high confidence levels in their results. While other radioactive decay systems exist for ancient geological analysis, the UPB system is considered to be the most accurate, according to Rochin-Banyaga. However, there's a significant catch that critics are quick to point out. Despite recent technological advances making UPB dating more accessible than ever before, it remains largely unavailable for widespread fossil analysis. The technique demands highly sophisticated equipment and extremely stringent laboratory conditions. Sample collection and examination must be conducted with meticulous care to prevent contamination with other materials that could completely derail the chronological analysis. Moreover, while the presence of calcite in these particular eggshells made this analysis possible, this favorable condition may not exist in other types of fossils. As Zhao cautiously notes, in theory, this method could be applied to other fossils containing primary carbonate minerals. However, we have not yet attempted this. The feasibility depends on the preservation of the carbonate material and the geological context. This limitation raises a controversial question. Are we creating unrealistic expectations about what this technique can accomplish across the broader field of paleontology? The Qinglongshan site represents something incredibly rare in paleontology, a pristine terrestrial snapshot of Cretaceous period life that shows us dinosaur nesting behavior and provides insights into how groups of these ancient creatures interacted with their environment. This kind of preserved ecosystem is like finding a perfectly intact time capsule from 86 million years ago. The unusual porousness of these eggs presents both fascinating possibilities and frustrating mysteries. This characteristic may indeed represent an evolutionary adaptation developed by this unidentified dinosaur species in response to their changing world. However, scientists still can't determine whether having porous eggs provided an advantage or created additional challenges as their environment gradually cooled. With this study successfully establishing UPB dating as a viable method for determining fossil egg ages, the research team has ambitious plans for the future. They intend to apply this technique to other Cretaceous sites in the surrounding area to better understand the origin and evolution of these distinctive eggs and gain deeper insights into the nesting habits of the dinosaurs that created them. The potential impact of this work extends far beyond this single site. With more than 200 dinosaur egg sites documented worldwide, and only a handful having been accurately dated using direct methods, UPB dating could become an invaluable new tool for studying preserved examples of dinosaur reproduction and understanding how these behaviors may have evolved over millions of years. If widely applied, Zhao suggests, this approach can help establish a robust chronological framework for dinosaur reproduction behavior. But here's the million-dollar question that's dividing the scientific community. Should we be investing heavily in this expensive, equipment-intensive dating method, or are we better served by improving our existing, more accessible techniques? What do you think? Are we witnessing a genuine revolution in paleontology, or are we getting distracted by flashy technology when simpler methods might serve us just as well? Is the precision worth the cost and complexity, especially when so many fossil sites around the world lack the resources for such sophisticated analysis? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this debate. Do you believe this atomic clock method represents the future of fossil dating? Or should scientists focus on making existing techniques more reliable and accessible? Share your perspective. Are you team high-tech precision or team practical accessibility?